Big day for India-New Zealand cricket, playing each other in 3 different formats all at the same time. But we are focusing on the T20 International from that lovely rugby venue at Eden Park in Auckland. New Zealand asked to bat first by Virat Kohli, putting on in excess of 200. And interestingly, the 3 men who actually scored for them, Colin, Munro, Ross Taylor, Kane Williamson, half centuries. One, maybe we were questioning his place as a T20 player. One hadn't made a T20 International 50 in 6 years, and the other couldn't find a place in the IPL. So nonetheless, they've managed half centuries, and New Zealand 203 for 5. A total that I think they'd be pretty proud of, despite the fact that 243 was chased down not too long ago.
I noticed, though, that you slipped in the thing about it being a rugby ground on which just a cricket match is being played. So I missed, that was not a bad line. 203, most days you think 203, you won the game, right? Most days 203, I'm not sure here.
Now, here we are, just trying to assess where we are on My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. I'll get Zaheer Khan in here as well. You know, never mind where we are on our My 11 Circle expert couches. None of them are there. Harsha was very close.
Very close, but.
And for the 3rd time, I must tell you on the record, when you've picked a figure and you recommended one for me, it always ended up being the figure you recommended, but I didn't take.
So even when you pick your My 11 Dream Circle team, you must listen to other people.
Yes.
How did you go on your team? Okay, we won't ask embarrassing.
If you were watching the show,
let's leave it to Zach.
Harsha did say 210. Why don't you go for 210? But I didn't take that for my 11 Circle team, but I suffered. But how do you assess this total?
Well, I think the wicket has looked good, and the key is going to be to keep wickets in hand. You know, that's something which is going to be very vital. You've seen from the New Zealand side, the intent was very good at the start, and that is something which set a really strong platform for them to for their middle order to really come and capitalize on that, and that's exactly what we've seen. Ross Taylor, I felt, was exceptional. I think, you know, after a long time we've seen the vintage
Ross Taylor,
yeah, you know, who bowlers are scared of how to bowl. I think, you know, he looked in that kind of mindset, which is a great plus for New Zealand team. Williamson was very deceptive. You know, he didn't look like he was going at that kind of strike rate, but he matched it up with Ross Taylor, who looked fearsome. But I think, you know, Williamson really took the pressure off, particularly when Chahal was bowling off that last over. You know, where before he got out, you know, he did that damage. I think at that stage, wasn't sure how Ross Taylor would have applied that pressure on Chahal, but he took that pressure off Ross Taylor in that over in order to stay on track of getting to that 200 total.
One word I'm going to pick up from Zaheer Khan there, and that was deceptive, because we mentioned the pedigree of the 3 who got the half centuries. You know, you expected a Colin de Grandhomme with that reputation. Tim Seifert's rated very highly in New Zealand. Neither of them scored, first bowler for the Grandhomme, but yet you got it from these veterans.
And I mean, Williamson is measured by his standards, isn't it? If you're a Williamson, you're measured in different scales. And everyone says, can he not? Very quietly, he didn't. How many sixes did Williamson hit? 4. So he played the boundary, he played the angles. Ross Taylor provided the muscle towards the end. So what they do is they play Williamson at 3. They've actually moved Taylor to 5 now and given him a new role to go out there and finish. I think his strike rate before this in that role was just about 110, 120. So today he's shown he likes playing there. But I thought, to me, the bowling star was Bumrah. I mean, he's conceded, what, 32? 31 runs. He's conceded, what, where are we? 31. 2 overthrows. New Zealand got overthrows in the last over. That happens too. And there was one boundary Shami let go on the boundary. Otherwise, he'd have been sort of 25, 26, which is unbelievable at this ground.
Especially if you look at it in context of the other 2 in that pace attack, Shardul Thakur and Mohammad Shami. So Bumrah outstanding despite that slight scare in the last over. Just turning his left ankle slightly.
What Indian bowlers on today's day, what they need to figure in New Zealand conditions is that slower ones may not grip. I think, you know, today they had to pay a price for that. If you see those slower ones which were bowled by Indian pacers were actually coming onto the bat. I felt Shivam Dube was another bowler who impressed me today, particularly when the team has scored 68 runs in the power play. You can imagine how difficult that phase for any bowler to come on and then control the game from there. Chahal really pulled things back in that phase from 7 to 10. But I think he was evenly backed by Shivam Dube with his thought process. I think that's something, you know, which he should take a lot of confidence from going forward.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, 7, 8, 9 are easier overs to bowl, but they bowled well, I thought, because those overs, 7, 8, 9, 10, were bowled by Chahal and Dubey. But Dubey was a revelation. I mean, sometimes you look at Dubey bowl and you think, right, how is he going to get wickets? How is he going to keep people quiet? But just imagine today if India had gone in with just 5 bowlers, as they've gone in recent times, instead of the 6th option, which was Dubey, who bowled 3 overs for 24, which is gold.
And India conceded 23 between 7 and 10, and that was the only period they kept them quiet. Traditional T20 international innings, if you can call it a tradition now, it's old enough, the format. First 6 overs, power play was good for them, and then they finished well with Ross Taylor.
And I could imagine we're just looking at each other when that Bumrah ankle thing happened, isn't it? We said, oops, not again. Saini almost did an ankle. Ishant Sharma's out for a while. Tell me, when you, that momentum, even a little twist is bad, it can be really that bad? Which we saw with Bumrah today.
Ankle twists are bad, but
I mean,
something,
I know you're the
something you can
expert, but
you can something you can manage with strapping up. I think that kind of ankle twist, it looked bad, and also something to be careful of with these dropping wickets. Drop-in wickets actually, the level of the surface, and for a bowler, your follow through is always more likely than not is going to be around that area. For batsmen also, when they're running between the wickets, they prefer to run on the edge of the wicket to get a firmer grip, and that is something which I think the curators need to be careful of. If that surface is uneven, for unnecessary reason, you can see ankle twists.
But was it a case where, I mean, when you saw him go down there, it was the last over, was it a case where you say, listen, let's not take any chances, let Shardul Thakur, he's got an over up his sleeve, let him finish that over, 4 deliveries of 5 to go?
It's case-to-case basis. Obviously, Bumrah is the best judge of that situation, how bad it is, and obviously physio also came there to help him make that decision. Must not be that bad for him to continue, and that was the decision made there.
Who takes the call, the physio or the bowler? Can a bowler be too brave?
Well, the guidance of physio is required, but end of the day, call is up to the bowler. Whether he can go through or he cannot go through it.
Opening partnership again was the key. India has not been Guptill's favourite opposition, but we haven't mentioned him. But still, that partnership with Munro up top really set the foundation.
It was. I mean, just remember India coming off a plane and playing on a completely different surface. So India, the team that are struggling to find their space. And so from that point of view, probably not the most difficult time to bat for Guptill and Munro. 80 or 47, nice little base. New Zealand have a lot of these big hitters down the order. When you play in your own backyard, you know the angles as well, don't you? You know where you can get runs, where you can score. So from that point of view, yeah, good partnership. But I'm still not convinced this is a match-winning score.
One quick point before we actually go with the openers out there, India's fielding. One quick comment from either of you. I know Chahal was the focus of it. He tends to be at times.
India went through a phase, didn't they, when they were surprising the world with the outfielding. I mean, everywhere you look, there was a great fielder. You look here, actually in Bangalore, Chahal was looking among the quicker fielders, which is not a great sight. But you had Dubey, you have Shami, you have Thakur, you have Kuldeep was not playing here. Not the best outfield. You're looking at Jadeja, Pandey, Kohli, and then you're thinking, right, who else? So yeah, I think they conceded 10-12.
But Rohit Sharma put his hand up today with that catch, but yeah, really
Chahal
was about too quick coming in 5 or 6 meters in.
I wouldn't look too much into it. I think today's day was not like a very far off from a bad day or anything, or a good day. I think it was one of those days where the batsmen are putting pressure on the bowlers. If you look at the whole innings, it was one of those innings where batsmen were going strong, your bowlers have been put under, and more often than not, you will see these kind of things happening when bowlers have been put under pressure. So I wouldn't read too much into a good or a bad fielding day from the Indian fielding side today.
To be fair, a tough ground to defend with all the angles that the batsmen were using so well. But we've just got one little order of business, and that is our My 11 Circle expert couch prediction, because of course the couch is somewhere sitting hidden. We've got to get it in here into the studio. So 6th over prediction, end of the power play, India's front chase.
I thought win or lose. I'm seriously, my mind is furiously thinking win or lose, win or lose. I thought I was going to say 19.4 India to win, and you changed your question.
We also keep that, but for the moment, 6th over prediction.
6th over prediction, I'm going bullish. 71.
Oh, 71. Okay. Can I go second?
Yeah,
otherwise, I'll end up squeezing in between somewhere. Okay, I'm going 60, even 10 and over. 60.
You were actually going to say
How many
42
wickets?
or something, right?
No.
I think wickets are going to be a big factor. You know, so even if India is 55 for no loss, I think they have far greater chance of having a go at this kind of a target than 70 for say 2.
So you're going 55?
I think 55 for no loss. India is in commanding position with this
So
run.
he's assessing the game very intently right now in terms of wickets as well. So 55, 60 and 71, that's our span for our 6th over. But remember, it's India chasing down in excess of 200 in the first of 5 T20 internationals in what should be a fascinating series. At the moment, all eyes on Eden Park for us. We'll be back in the 10th over. Cricbuzz Combox to see where we stand. This has been My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live.